The Democrat Party has moved so violently left they cannot see straight anymore. They shouldn't even be allowed to call themselves Democrats. There aren't any left. Special offer, Gold Trump 2020 coin for 50% off. Get yours today. Unfortunately for America, Dems have become the party of hypocritical socialists who want to see the nation burn. Likewise, they have the mainstream media on their side, the most powerful tool needed. Therefore, 2020 presidential candidate Joe Biden will never be called out for this story involving Confederate General Robert T. Lee. From Daily Caller, former Vice President Joe Biden was a part of the 94th Congress that voted to restore Confederate General Robert T. Lee's citizenship over 100 years after his death, and yet Biden attacked President Donald Trump's support of the general in his campaign announcement video earlier this week. On Thursday, Biden entered the presidential race, and he used Trump's words about the statue of Lee and the people who attended the Unite the Right rally in August 2017 as the focal point for his announcement video. "I was talking about people that went because they felt very strongly about the monument to Robert E. Lee, a great general," Trump said to reporters on Friday in response to Biden's video. "Whether you like it or not, he was one of the great generals." White nationalists had long planned a demonstration over the city's decision to remove a statue of Robert T. Lee, The New York Times reported that day, seemingly supporting Trump's claim. But the rally quickly exploded into racial taunting, shoving and outright brawling, prompting the governor to declare a state of emergency and the National Guard to join the police in clearing the area. "Oh, Joe, urgent 2020 poll, Trump or Bernie?" Biden was against the raid on Osama bin Laden back in 2011. Watch Joe will have to answer for a scandal involving Ukraine. Poll, should Jim Acosta be banned for life from the press pool? From The Hill, 2 years after leaving office, Joe Biden couldn't resist the temptation last year to brag to an audience of foreign policy specialists about the time as vice president that he strong-armed Ukraine into firing its top prosecutor. In his own words, with video cameras rolling, Biden described how he threatened Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko in March 2016 that the Obama administration would pull $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees, sending the former Soviet republic toward insolvency, if it didn't immediately fire Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin. "I said, you are not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here in, I think it was about 6 hours. I looked at them and said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money," Biden recalled telling Poroshenko. "Well, son of a bitch, he got fired." "And they put in place someone who was solid at the time," Biden told the Council on Foreign Relations event, insisting that President Obama was in on the threat. Interviews with a half-dozen senior Ukrainian officials confirm Biden's account, though they claim the pressure was applied over several months in late 2015 and early 2016, not just 6 hours of one dramatic day. Whatever the case, Poroshenko and Ukraine's parliament obliged by ending Shokin's tenure as prosecutor. Shokin was facing steep criticism in Ukraine, and among some U.S. officials, for not bringing enough corruption prosecutions when he was fired, but Ukrainian officials tell me there was one crucial piece of information that Biden must have known but didn't mention to his audience. The prosecutor he got fired was leading a wide-ranging corruption probe into the natural gas firm Burisma Holdings that employed Biden's younger son, Hunter, as a board member. But then, as Biden's 2020 campaign ramped up over the past year, Lutsenko, the Ukrainian prosecutor that Biden once hailed as a solid replacement for Shokin, began looking into what happened with the Burisma case that had been shut down. Lutsenko told me that, while reviewing the Burisma investigative files, he discovered members of the board obtained funds as well as another U.S.-based legal entity, Rosemont Seneca Partners LLC, for consulting services. But what makes Lutsenko's account compelling is that federal authorities in America, in an entirely different case, uncovered financial records showing just how much Hunter Biden's and Archer's company received from Burisma while Joe Biden acted as Obama's point man on Ukraine. Nonetheless, some hard questions should be answered by Biden as he prepares, potentially, to run for president in 2020. Was it appropriate for your son and his firm to cash in on Ukraine while you served as point man for Ukraine policy? What work was performed for the money Hunter Biden's firm received? Did you know about the Burisma probe? And when it was publicly announced that your son worked for Burisma, should you have recused yourself from leveraging the U.S. policy to pressure the prosecutor who very publicly pursued Burisma? Cast your vote. Should President Trump close down the southern border? You might like Let's Block Ads. Why?